All right, we are live. Welcome in everybody, nice and early to Saturday's roundtable of the NBA playoffs. The play-in, it's over. The meaningless games where the stats don't go anywhere. We got the big one starting just in about 2 hours. So it's 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast. So walk your dog, grab your coffee, do what you ever need to do. Daily Bread's coming at you live with a lot of guests here. As you can see, we'll be joined by hopefully two more people throughout the show. You already know Sosa and I. We don't have to talk about our stuff, but we got to go to J Money. Is Money first? How you doing? First time on Daily Bread. Happy to have you here.
Hey man, everything's going great. I can't complain about a single thing. If y'all don't know, I do a little NBA show on YouTube as well, man. But these are my guys, Rex and Sosa. Hey, huh?
Ain't nothing little about it, but yeah, it's definitely.
No, I'm just saying, man. Hey, I try not to. It's a little show, But I still come through and do a show with anybody, and I watch the show as well. So I'm glad to be on, my guys.
Appreciate you joining us, my brother, as always.
Yep. Next, we'll go to Finesse the Books. What is up? I know you're tapping in with us on Daily Bread. I see you in the comments as well with Jay Money and Jammer and Troppa. How you doing? First time as well.
Chilling, bro. Happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Respect you guys. Love the show. Respect what you guys do. Love what you guys do. So I'm happy to be here. Let's talk some ball, bro.
Yes, sir.
We got our man Trot. You probably seen him as well. He has another NBA show. How you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling good, feeling great. I'm happy to be here with y'all. My guy Jammer, Finesse, Jay, Sosa, and Rex. You already know. Hella love the show. What you guys do for the community, bro. Keep this shit going. Love to be here. I'm glad this is definitely not the last time for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely not. And then Jammer, you've seen him with us on Sunday morning quarterbacks before for our Steelers, but he's got his hoops on. You're now at what's the place you're running at? The Commish?
Delphi Sports.
Delphi Sports, me and Commish, man, taking over. He's holding down the MLB. I'll be holding down the NBA for the playoffs. Absolutely locked in right now. Glad to be here with you guys.
Yes, sir. Make sure you give everyone a follow at their @. Keep the comments going. Drop your predictions because what we're going to do today is we're going to run through the 8 series. We'll get through the little guys first, the first 4, and then we'll be breaking down the more better ones, I guess you can say, in depth last. So drop your predictions, drop your best bets for the day, whatever the hell you want to be saying. You can do that. Let's bring in our next 2 guests before we get everything started. We'll bring in my guy, Knows a Guy, Friday. Joined us last week on Daily Bread.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
I don't like the hat. The logo's
Whoa. How's it going, everyone? Good morning. Man, it's really great. Thankful for you putting this together. Just, I'm rambling already, man. I'm excited. Good morning, though. Good morning, everyone.
My guy. Sosa does not like that hat.
Oh Lord! I was gonna keep it real quiet, and then we're gonna be at the game when they get clapped by 30 tonight. It's gonna be all love anyway. He's still gonna be my boy.
We'll see how it goes, bro. Raptors, Sixers. Hey, best of luck to everyone's bets, though. I know everyone's put a lot of work in, ready for this day. So I'm really thankful to be here. Just wanted to say that. Positivity, bro.
Well, let's bring in Crispy Cap'n. Looks like he's on the road. We appreciate him tapping in with us as well. And he's driving. Keep your eyes on the road, but you can always talk ball. How you doing?
What's up, Rex, man? Hey, I got a star-studded cast, man. My son had soccer this morning, so I'm on the way back to the crib now. But, grateful to be here. Humbled by the opportunity to be able to chop it up with the legends, man. Y'all got some legends on here. Rex, Sosa, y'all legends. But, Wham, Jay Money, the GOAT.
Appreciate you,
man,
bro.
I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here. We got 4 games in the NBA today. Definitely some money to be made for sure, man. I'm excited, man. I get real, just excited about opportunities like this. So I'm grateful to be here, Rex. Let's get it, man.
Yes, sir. Maybe the beginning games, our thoughts might be a little bit quicker, but we'll get into in depth. We'll let everyone give their thoughts, their predictions of how the series are going to go. If there's going to be an upset, maybe a player to watch, whatever the hell they want to talk about. Even if they want to talk about outfits and just say the Suns are going to beat them, just look for who's going to be wearing what. That's the spot to do it. As well, as usual, give everyone a follow, give everyone a like, I know Jay Money's going live after our show today, so we thank him for joining. I know Friday was just live before us, so make sure you tune into both of their shows as well. No more teasing. Let's get into probably, in my opinion, the most boring series there will be out there. I don't think the Bulls stand a chance. I think it's going to be 4-1 Bucks. But Sosa, we'll let you go first, and then I'll let you pick who you're going to kick it to next. We'll just pass it around the whole time.
I'm gonna keep it short with me. For me, I've been talking about how shitty the Bulls are for the last month and a half. That nice little 2-month run where DeRozan was looking like he was Jesus. That shit is long gone. I think it's Bucks in 5 at the worst. Maybe a sweep. I don't really give Chicago a chance in this series. But one thing that people are forgetting, they've had injuries and COVID really messed them up all season. So, like it's a bit of a mulligan for me. I got the Bucks in 5 at the worst. I think Giannis just absolutely does whatever he wants personally in this one. And we can go straight down the line, Jay, and then we can just continue down.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough series. I did put a little something. I don't make serious bets all the time, but I did put a little something on 4-1. I do think that the Bulls can get one game, but obviously, like I know if you could have took Bucks minus 2.5 for the series early on when it opened up at minus 125, that was the price. It got steamed all the way up to like minus 190. It's probably above minus 200 now, but that was the bet. I definitely think they either get them 4-1 or 4-0, but the Bulls might fight here. So obviously us betting against the spread, not even necessarily straight up. Some of these games they might be able to keep it close when nobody thinks they can. So I'll be honest with you, the ugly dog. I'm leaning towards the Bulls in the first game. I'm not talking anybody off their bed, but I'm leaning to them in the first game. And Giannis usually struggles in the first game as well. What you thinking about that, Jammer?
So, I mean, I think that this is just going to be a complete warm-up for the Bucks. I think that the Bulls started off the season so hot, and, what you don't want to see going into the playoffs is kind of what they did, losing a bunch of games at the end of the season, losing those close ones. They're still missing Lonzo, so that's a big piece to their defense. Getting Caruso back was huge, but I think that Bucks are just going to run right through these guys, and I'm thinking either a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. They'll put up a fight, but it's not going to be close.
I'm not liking this. We can't all be jinxing it and all be the ESPN mush because someone's going to make the graphic in the comments and just put all of our faces out there. Trot, are you going against, or William, are you going against the grain, or are you rocking the Bucks with us?
Yeah, I'm rocking with you guys, man. I'm not about to be here with the Bulls. As far as the Bulls, like you said, they may be getting Lonzo back in the series, but I don't think that's enough. I think Giannis is just going to do what he does, show that he should have been probably another MVP for him because he can play both sides of the ball, and he continues to hoop. So I think that it will be more like a 5-game series, and Bucks probably do this gentleman sweep or maybe win the first 3 and lose one and win the next one.
Finesse.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you guys. I got 4-1 Bulls. I respect DeRozan and Lamar enough to give them a game, and I disrespect the Bucks defense enough, for them to get a game. So, pretty easy. Like Jamie was saying, warm up for round 2, 4-1 Bucks.
It's not looking great Friday. Are you going to be the contrarian angle here and just go the Bulls just so we can't mush it, or?
I do want to say I was glad to this is the first time I visually saw Finesse the Books. Glad to see you and Chris and J Money, Jammer, Trot, all of you guys as guests. Just legends, bro. Just wanted to say that because now that everyone was here. But I do want to say that in this series, I think that the week off is actually going to help the Bulls. That's really contrarian, but the week off, like they were really reeling. The preparation that they're going to have going just into game 1, connecting to what Jay Money said. I do think if they win a game, it will be the first one, and that's it. But I'm not going to pick the series spread because Milwaukee, they do have a sweaty history in playoff series in the past. They've been on autopilot so far this season, and in the playoffs, you really do need shot makers. You need shot makers, and Zach LaVine and DeRozan, even if they get crushed, I expect them to go crazy. So, but the Bucks are going to win the series. I just don't have a game prediction.
All right,
Chris, how are we wrapping it up?
Man, I think Friday and Jay make some good points, man. But I do think that the week off will be better be better for Chicago in this matchup. But I think the Bucks, man, offensively, I don't think Chicago is going to be able to do anything with them. So yeah, I will say this, Rex. Today is Contrarian Chris Day, but I'm not jumping in front of the Bucks way. Not to the Bulls. Gentlemen sweep for me too. 4-1.
Yes, sir. And as usual in the comments, drop out your predictions, drop out anything. We got our man Ronald Ucapper. Make sure to give him a follow, and as well on Twitter and YouTube, giving us some nice stats of how the regular season has went there.
Yeah, it's Giannis's league, man. I think we're all pretty much in agreement of that. It's just the Giannis era is here. I really do believe that. On to the next matchup, since everybody was in agreement. I think these first two, that's why we're going over these first two first, because I think we're all going to be pretty much on the same page in regards to the matchup. Obviously, Suns Pels. We saw the Pelicans last night come back and figure out a way to get in the dance, as we can say it. CJ McCollum, BI, all the disrespect's got to stop. And I need to formally say, all you Laker fans, can you please shut the fuck up with the baby Laker shit, please? Can y'all cut that out? Like, I don't give a fuck about them once playing for the Lakers. They play for the Pelicans now. Y'all are in Cancun, Cabo, wherever y'all vacation at. Stop saying that on the internet. It makes you look really stupid. But I say all that to say, I think Phoenix wins this in 5. I will give CJ and them a game, but I just think that this Phoenix team comes out loaded, extremely, extremely excited for the opportunity, barring some level of injury. I think that Phoenix comes out here to kick things off, and I think Phoenix really just comes out here and could fire them the fuck up. That's my expectation. I mean, defensively, they're great. Situational basketball, Monty Williams got it on lock, in my opinion. They got the best player in the series as well in D-Book. For me, it's gentleman's sweep at worst, maybe 4.
Damn,
Hey, I'm
you're
just
jumping
glad
off
to
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Nah, go ahead. Nah, chill. I was just gonna say I'm glad to see these spreads at double digits because they give me some chances to hop on the dog where we know that they're probably still gonna lose the game, but they're gonna fight here. Obviously, no one's thinking about that. Willie Green used to coach on the Suns last year as well, so that was part of why I wouldn't surprise to see the Pelicans get that win tonight because it's even a bigger series. Rather to see the Clippers and Suns times 2 years in a row. Now we get to see Willie Green going up against the team that he used to coach for. So it's a really interesting dynamic for me. I'm glad to see the spread sitting around 10 because, like I say, that gives me a chance to hop on them Pelicans plus the points, even though I know that they'll probably lose 4-1. But they should be able to steal at least one game, possibly at the house here.
So I'm just mad at you because you're finally abandoning our Pels ship. We'll put it like on like the Tombstone Wise, where it goes from trade deadline when they got CJ to today. That's when you're no longer allowed to ride. I only got them winning 2 games. What the Pels have done and shown, and Jay's hit it well, they've won games in Phoenix this season when Phoenix has been at the full strength. Now I think, as we said with the Bucks, Phoenix might get more into that tune-up mode, and Bridges is probably going to have Ingram in jail for at least half of the series. So that's kind of going to be where we saw it last night when if we're going to rely on Trey Murphy Jr. to go 4 for 6 from 3, that's where it's going to be a sweep. So that's the kind of the part where – and do we think Zion makes any chance of coming back here? Because you heard the ESPN talking that bullshit last night where Reggie Miller, if he's making those type of – or that was TNT. If he's making those type of dunks, he should be playing. Like, I was just like, all right, come on, Reggie.
The Kool-Aid man is not coming back, bro. Kool-Aid man's not pulling up till next year. It's no, sir. He's not coming back this season. I'm sorry.
You never know, man.
Finesse, what do you got for us here?
Yeah, you guys make a lot of great points. I think it's a terrible matchup for the Pelicans. Having Miles Bridges there to kind of either switch off or just lock somebody up, I think is going to be critical. I do respect the Pelicans. I respect their defense. I respect the guys, the grittiness there on that team. So I don't want to say sweep. I don't even want to say 4-1, but I'm gonna say it 4-1 Phoenix.
Jammer, what do you got for us?
So I just tweeted out my series predictions. I got the Suns sweeping these guys. I think that last night after the game, Pelicans were super humble. I think it's just because they know what's coming. You know, they weren't treating it like the Timberwolves where it was this great Cinderella story. They make this huge win, and now they get to face the 2 seed in the East or in the West. But yeah, I got a sweep in this. I think that that young team, they can't be making mistakes like they were at the end of the game last night. Early shots in the shot clock, some lob passes into the middle of the court. The Suns are the best defensive team in the league, maybe outside the Warriors. So they're going to shut these guys down, and they're going to force these young guys to make plays. And the young guys in big moments, first top team in the West. I don't know if they can even pull out one.
Friday, how are we thinking this one here? Who's a player to target? Where are you like in this series?
I have the Suns. I'm highly optimistic. I do have a Suns futures ticket. I do believe they will find a way to win the NBA championship, but that's a different topic. When it comes to this series, though, I really respect what CJ McCollum has done in particular with the Pelicans. It seems like his impact on the squad goes beyond numbers, and the odds makers and myself at times don't know what to do with the Pelicans. When it comes to point spreads, we might see overinflated lines in this series, but I don't think the Pelicans will win a game in this series. For me, I have players to watch. DeAndre Ayton. Don't keep in mind the financial incentive of him chasing a max contract, trying to prove that he is a max contract player. I do think that DeAndre Ayton is going to have a great series against the Pelicans, and Devin Booker averages the most points against any opponent in the NBA against the Pelicans, especially on the road. He averages more points in the Pelicans arena than any other arena in the NBA, including his own. So obviously that they play so many games at home, so it dilutes the stats. But Devin Booker is going to light these guys up. Maybe it'll get started after game one, but because game one is tricky. I swear game one is tricky for underdogs. But let's see how it goes. Thanks,
Chris. What are we thinking?
Man, I do respect it. I think my take is very similar to Finesse's take, man. I respect the Pelicans. Especially from the way how far they've come throughout this season, man. They've really been able to turn around probably more than any other team in the league. With all that being said, man, I think the Phoenix Suns are hungry. I think they got something to prove. I think they got the best leader in basketball, in Chris Paul. I think he's gotten healthy at the right time. Phoenix doesn't really be seeming to struggle with any injuries right now. And I think that I get, if they win a game, I say they win one game. And give me Phoenix in 5, maybe even Phoenix in 4.
Wham, how are we wrapping this one up before we get into the big ones, where I think we'll finally get some contradiction on the next series?
Yeah, I'd agree with that, but I agree with Jammer. I say that it's going to be a sweep, bro. I don't think they're going to win one game. I think it's just going to be such a big difference between the talent level, coaching level. Even though he used to coach there, like my guy said, I think it's just going to be a little bit too much.
No one's got the faith in the Pels, so let's hope none of them make us eat our words. Heat versus the Hawks. I think this one might go 7, in my opinion. I still got the Heat coming it out in this one at the end. I do think Spo is able to get through it, but I think Trey does have his games where he goes off, and there's some pieces here for the Hawks that we've seen them hang tough in series. They just can't sleep through a full quarter against the Heat. The Heat have had their number this season too, so it's never great coming into the playoffs when that aspect's there, especially if Capella is going to be done for some time. That's kind of where the 7 could come down closer to a 6. But the backup bigs, when we saw Dieng in there shooting threes, even though he was wide open, I was like, oh man, the Hawks could actually be in some trouble if Larry just keeps not being able to miss. So we're not going to you first here. We'll go to Friday here for the Heat versus the Hawks. What do we like here?
I don't know if this is how popular of a take this is going to be, but I wrote down that after taking a pretty close look, I think the Heat are going to take these guys out in 5 games. This is a Heat team that has shown mastery over the Hawks as of late. It's a different Heat squad that has purposely been waiting for this moment. I believe that their roster is built for the playoffs. The Hawks' defense and their turnover ratio slid tremendously since last year. I believe the Hawks are a situational betting team. There might be situations to take them on the spread, but I do think that this is a situation where a scenario where the Heat are just, they have one up on the Hawks. They're just much better than them this year. It's not like last year. And I think maybe a lot of people will still be having last year in their heads. The Heat in 5 games. And Max Strus, Tyler Hero, these guys are going to have big series. Watch.
Wham, what do you like here?
Yeah, I think Atlanta in 7. Honestly, I think they pushed this series pretty tough, Somehow, some way, Ice Trader Gang comes out and does his playoff performance, becomes the legend that we know he's going to be. I think that be the case here. I'm not going to say that I'm betting this as far as the series price, but I looked at it so much and I'm just telling myself, like, this is something that's just enticing me here. And I can see it happening easily, even if it does look like they Heat are strong early on. We know Tyler Hero, he could fall flat several times in the series. We've seen it before. I think that could happen in this series, and then you can see Ice Trey still be able to get everybody in. So I don't know, man. I like the Hawks here. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say they just won me over. Maybe a little bit overreaction or recency bias there, but I like the Hawks to stretch it out this series.
Jay, I teased you enough. I saw you change your background just for this one, so let's hear it.
Yeah, no, I don't think the Hawks gonna beat them in the series, but I just had to change the background because they took care of me last night. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still a little pumped up from the Hawks coming back, and because y'all know I do that. I was like, fuck, man, they bushing around, then they come back and win. So they reverse jinx win every time. I just want the cash though. You see what I'm saying? But for this series, it's big news, right? Because the hyperextension of their knee, Capella might be out for a while, and then the Heat just got back. I'm just seeing right now, Bam Adebayo is out of protocol, so he's not going to even miss one game. That's big for the series there. But I think Capella for the Hawks even bigger. They can't really win on the road as well, but they can match up well with the Heat. They have the shooters. They just got to lock up on defense. So I think it may go 5 or 6 games, but I don't think, especially with Capella injury, I don't think they can beat the Heat in the 7-game series. I think the Heat are coming out of East. So that's just me.
Ooh. Yeah, make sure if any of you guys in the comments or any of us up here have series tickets or any prices or even any plays on today's game, if you want to share it. I know you all run your own stuff in your shows, but we'll be dropping some stuff as well. Who do we want to go to next? Let's go to Finesse.
Yeah, this one is tough for me. I don't think the Hawks win the series. I think their lack of defense is going to be tough. I do respect the Hawks. I think there's going to be a lot of the public on them, a lot of recency bias as to what they just did. Like Friday was saying, I think they're going to be very a good number of spots betting wise to get value on the Hawks at a -6. At +6, +7, +8 around that range. So I think there's going to be some areas to get that value with Atlanta. But if I had to lean right now, it'd be Heat in 5. It'd be Heat in 5 or 6.
All right, so we at least got one person with Wham
on the
Hawks. I got it at least going to 7. Chris, who you like here?
Hey, can you guys hear me? Am I still clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Man. I think Jay made the most interesting point. Atlanta's down a couple guys. John Collins is not there. I think Lou will probably be back for this series, but I think the Capella news is big. You got a Miami team that they're gonna be at full strength, and they got a lot of guys down there in Atlanta. I also think that the Hawks can't play situational defense, kind of like what my guy knows a guy was just saying. Give me Miami in this series. I think if Atlanta does win, they'll win 1 or 2, but they won't win more than 2 games against a Miami team that is built for the playoffs.
Jammer.
So I got Heat winning this in 5. I just don't know how the Hawks are going to be able to keep up with the defense of the Heat. Trae Young can only do so much, and one thing that he can't do is what he did in the play-in games, where he just doesn't show up in the first half. He's averaging over 25 points in the second half, but I think it's like in the single digits in the first half. So if you're finding yourself in a 10 to 15, maybe even 20 point deficit at half, it's tough to come back, especially on the road. Hawks have a great home court advantage, but the lack of the superstars is definitely going to hurt them. John Collins coming back might help, but an injury on your shooting hand is surely not going to be a best case scenario. So he might be able to come back, help on the defensive end, but I just don't know how much offense they'll be able to get outside of Trae.
You don't like Delon, right? At least he was showing the aspects to be able to lock up, but he's someone who I wasn't expecting to have that big of an impact for them. Sosa, you wanted to go last for some reason on this one. Let's hear your Trae love and fandom.
Nice, straight A, man. Nice trade gang. Come on, man. That's a cold killer over there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say whatever y'all want about that guy, but I don't care who's playing the 5. He gonna give these boys hell.
Talk.
Listen. I don't really care who plays the 5 because it don't matter who's playing the 5. We're gonna get 100 pick and rolls with Trae Young regardless. It does not matter who is playing the 5. If Clint Capella's out there, it don't matter. We're gonna get the same thing every single night. You could try to extend it but he's gonna attack it correctly. Listen, as far as basketball IQ, we got to start showing Trae his respect, bro. Like the dude is a basketball genius. Look at what you're witnessing right now. You can't take any. You try to take something away from his game, he's gonna find a way to beat you elsewhere. And then when all else fails, you just do it his fucking self. I'm on Atlanta to win this joint in 7. I'm with Wham, bro. I listen. It sounds crazy, and don't get it twisted.
Stop it.
Listen, don't get it twisted.
I'm telling you.
I fuck with Spoelstra. I think Spoelstra's a great basketball mind. He got a roster that fits what he wants to do. I think that defensively, this Miami team is a bit fraudulent. We believe in that heat culture shit kind of heavy, but they literally have guys that can't play any defense. And if I'm getting Trae Young in switches all night,
Duncan Robinson,
all night with Duncan and Tyler Hero, and that's barbecue chicken, bro. Barbecue season about to start actually here in like a week. I just bought the charcoal yesterday. So, like I said, just enjoy the show because I think Ice Trae finna have some. He finna give these boys hell. Win or lose, we can bet on him to get 30 every night because he's gonna get you 35 every single night. We can at least bet on that.
I'll take the Heat. I'll take the Heat in the series for whoever wants to bet. I got the Heat.
Yeah,
I like those guys money on it.
Nice trade again.
Defense.
So
Sosa
the
stat.
biggest
Just like
thing I
Capella
saw in
doesn't
the
matter.
Twitter comments was they're saying who's the Heat superstar. I mean, do they kind of really need it at this point because they're playing a good enough team game that you still have Jimmy at the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, I stopped trusting in Jimmy Butler when I found out his real name was Jimmy and not James. It's kind of weird. His name's just Jimmy. That's a little weird for me. I can't rock with him after I found that out.
The Hawks became turnover machines for me. It's just a different style of basketball that they're playing. It's not the same quality. John Collins is out. It's tough. But hey, Trae Young, Sosa, man, Trae Young's going crazy. Big money maker. I'll definitely be taking a look at Trae Young in this series. But the Heat, they set the table for this moment.
I agree. I mean, they got the 1 seed for a reason. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like, this is obviously me discounting how well they played all year because I don't think we've seen a team get the 1 seed and fly under the radar the way they have for 82 games, right? Like, I don't think we haven't talked about Miami because they've just been so consistently good that the only time we actually talked about Miami is when they had a 6-game losing streak at the end of the year. Nobody cared that they just kind of moonwalked through the season. So, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. It's just, man, Trae, cold killer. I'm rocking with him to get me through a series, dog. The boy just different. He proved that to me. He proved that to me these last 15 games of the season. That boy, I had to run him his flowers.
All right. We got 2 people pick the upset here. I'm thinking might be a little bit crazy if you're picking an upset here because I don't know how the Grizz don't run them with or without Ja Morant. I'm not going to give any thoughts on it here because I just don't think Cat has what it takes to get them past a playoff series. The guards are going to have to score night in, night out. I just think the Grizz are going to be able to beat them on the inside easy. Let's go to Chris. Who you like here for the T-Wolves versus the Grizz?
Yo, Rex, am I good? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you good, bro.
T-Wolves and Grizz, Rex. I think it's gonna be a lot of public money that comes in on the Grizzlies, man. And I get it. They're a really good team, specifically at home. And if I'm capping full series, I do think that the Grizzlies win this series. I think it's gonna be a little tougher than people think, though, Rex. Head to head this year, they went 2-2. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll have my notes right in front of me. That's 2-2 on the splits as far as straight up and ATS wise. Minnesota has actually outshot them from 3 pretty badly as far as scoring more points. D'Angelo Russell has also played extremely well against this Memphis Grizzlies team. I don't know if people are looking at the numbers, but he's averaging 30. He's averaging about 5.5 threes a game against this team. Take a look at that point prop sitting at 2.5 for the first game. These games in Memphis too, like 2 games this year in Memphis, he's went over that 2.5 number. I think hit 6 threes and 6 for 11 one game, 6 for 13 the other game. So I think it's gonna be a little closer than people think, Rex. I don't have an official like as far as the series, but I do think that they're getting a tad bit disrespected because everybody's gonna have the recency bias where Cat didn't show up against a well coached Clipper team that has Tyronn Lue at the helm. And is known for defense. He's had a makeshift roster all year without having PG and Kawhi in. So I think Cat's played better against the Timberwolves, against the Memphis Grizzlies than he has collectively against the Clippers this year. So I think taking that into consideration, I know it's not going to be a popular opinion, but as far as the game today, Rex, I got a contrarian play. Ja Morant under 28.5 points.
Ooh.
I know people not gonna like that, but Ja Morant under 28.5 today is something that I'm putting a half unit on. As far as also I'm on D'Angelo Russell, half unit play on his over 2.5 threes, half unit play on his over 19.5 point. D'Angelo, they gonna need you today, and I think he gonna come to play. I like him to keep it going. He's also played well against his team all year, and I think Memphis is going to just try to outscore him. So I think it's going to be. I agree with the total moving up. I think it opened at 235, is up to 236.5. So some money's come in on the over. I agree with that. I think it's going to be one of them games where a bunch of shots are being made. And yeah, but those are, as far as the series, I'm taking Memphis. I do think that they get past them. I just think a lot of I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna attack it, Rex. But I think a lot more people are going to devalue the Timberwolves because they struggle so much with the Clippers.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I 100% see where you're coming from there. I'm just not going to trust Cat in the playoffs. It could just be a big man curse in Minnesota that you just get there every year and get bounced in the first round. Shout out KG. But Finesse, who do you like here?
Yo, Chris, in the comments, they're saying you got notes written on your windshield, bro. They say you that prepared. So, yeah, this is a tough one for me. I agree with Chris. I think the Timberwolves, again, slightly disrespected. I know a ton of the public money is going to be on Memphis. If I had to say, I'd take Memphis in 7. I think Grizzlies get some business taken care of early in Memphis. I think Timberwolves kind of rebound, pick up some games. I think it's going to be tough. Sosa was talking about this the other day. Ty Lue might have put the blueprint out there to stop Cat. And if that happens, it's going to be a long series for the Wolves. So should be a great series, very entertaining series. But yeah, I'm gonna trust Memphis to get it done. But I do respect the Timberwolves enough to definitely give them a couple games in the series, and it definitely extend the series. So, but yeah, I mean, Grizzlies for me. Moving on.
Friday,
what do you like here?
Yeah, you can hear me now, right? Okay. So this series for me, I favor Memphis Grizzlies highly. I'm sure most of the public will, as Chris has said. I just believe that this is going to be that platform for Ja Morant to really take that next step in his career. I believe in the story arc of Ja Morant's career up until this point. On the flip side, with the Minnesota Timberwolves, there's a bit of an emotional letdown today. What I'm projecting, based on what we saw after they beat the Clippers, there was like it was like WrestleMania. The Timberwolves, this is a team that, people think their defense is really bad, but they've actually improved to 13th in defensive efficiency this year. It's just because of the pace of play. Per 100 possessions, they're still in the top half of the NBA in defense. I do think that they can hang around. But I'm going to say that what happened in the fourth quarter, even though I liked what happened against the Clippers, I was on them. I was on the Timberwolves that day with Sosa, J Money as well that day. Anthony Edwards, big time game. I just feel like they're going to be playing from behind in this series. I feel like the Timberwolves are going to be playing from behind in this series. They're going to show us why they made the playoffs. But the Memphis Grizzlies, think about it like this in terms of the development of the two franchises. I believe the Timberwolves right now are in a position that the Grizzlies were in last year. Not happy to make it, but not necessarily. They don't necessarily have the experience to make it past the first round. They might make some noise, but for me, honestly, is Grizzlies in 5. Grizzlies in 5. Big performances from Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, all series. I've got Jaren Jackson having a big performance in the first game, though.
Wham, have you given your thoughts? And then we'll go Jammer and across the top, so you'll wrap it up again.
Whamster.
Yeah, Wham's having some tech difficulties.
Yeah, when
Jammer.
Wham's talking and his face just ain't moving, it's been tripping me up the whole
My
time.
He's in the Matrix.
It's not like he's here.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, I thought I was tripped out.
I've been tripping, bro, on everything. I'm like, what the hell's going on with my feed? But see,
Jay's just like, is it the shit I'm smoking or is it just me over here? I'm just that cool and like nothing's going on.
But nah, I make it real quick and try to hop me in and hop me out because I thought it was me just tripping here. Nobody said nothing, so I'm like, maybe it's just me and shit. But for the most part, yeah, I think Memphis. I think Memphis in 6 though. I think Memphis in 6. I think they get it done there. As far as like we were saying, as far as Timberwolves, they did show pretty good. You did get Cat out the game. Fucking guy talking about dynasty. Obviously, he's probably talking about just Memphis here because you're just crazy as hell just to come out after just of getting into the playoffs talking about dynasty like they really won something. I understand it's his anniversary of his mom. He may be going through some things, but I think somebody did say I don't want my money on him right now. Just a little too unstable. You know what I'm saying? I would say that for sure. I think it's a little bit focused for the Memphis Grizzlies. The problem, though, for me is that the Timberwolves have been playing a little bit better defense. Like Friday said, they actually been holding opponents to about 41 points in the paint. That's something that you take away from Memphis. It's a big deal. They're number 1 in the paint all year round. So, and a lot of that has to do with Ja. So I agree with the Ja under look as well. If they keep him out the paint, he's not going to be able to shoot from lights out from 3. They were at 17th percent, 17th ranked, 17th for 3-point percentage. So I think that the Memphis Grizzlies are a pretty good look here, in the series. But for the most part, I think they come out with 6. Probably get 2 games from Timberwolves.
Jammer, what you like?
So I think this is going to be one of the better matchups that we see in the first round. The Timberwolves, since the new year, have been the top offensive rated team. And like my guy knows a guy was saying, their defense is a little under-respected. But I think that just the firepower of Memphis is just going to be too much for the starting lineup of the T-Wolves. I just don't think that they're going to have the bench production that the Grizzlies have to be able to keep up all game. Timberwolves have been notoriously blowing leads in the second half. No one on Twitter has been riding the Timberwolves first half more than me. I don't know if I'll continue in this series just because of how quick the Grizzlies come out. They like to take that lead early and just maintain, shutting the other team down on defense. But I do love D'Lo, love Anthony Edwards. I think that he's built for the playoffs. If anyone's going to be able to take over, it's going to be him. But I think that the Grizzlies kind of saw that blueprint to shut down Cat, kind of get physical with him, get him outside of his internal game plan. So yeah, I think we'll see Grizzlies in 5 or 6.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a good series. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be some good games. Another one where the underdog may be biting here. I don't expect them to win the series. It's not that it's tough because it sounds like basically every favorite should win. There's going to be at least one upset. I do think that the Grizzlies get there pretty far, but I do worry about them going balls to the wall during the regular season. They may catch up to them in the but I do see them getting to at least the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be a tough one though. Like Chris said, Chris come from the whip with the damn. But I'm talking about like I used to be doing with the sun with the panoramic roof showing. You see what I'm saying? Come through dropping facts, man. Russell has a good game versus these guys. Can't forget about Anthony Edwards as well. These two stepped up when Cat had the worst game of his life. You see what I'm saying? So, and I don't think that the Grizzlies are going to try to double him like that because they don't want to leave the open shooters like that as the open shooters for 3. So it's going to be a good series. I can't wait to watch it. But I must say the Timberwolves, where they did have the best games, were at the house. It hadn't necessarily been on the road other than that first game of the season, November 8th, where they lost in overtime. They had that game, then ended up losing by 7. So the final score really wasn't indicative of how the game went. I think the Timberwolves actually can match up pretty well with them. It's just obviously you got to keep Ja Morant out the paint. That's the whole thing. But he hadn't really been playing in a while. So rest over rust, right? Are these guys going to come out rested, or are they going to be super rusty from not playing in a while? That's one thing the Timberwolves do have. But one more thing on this one. Friday nailed it, though. I'm worried about them psychologically. You're partying. This thing over here bringing Bud Lights and shit to the post-game interview, Beverly. So they partied. They wanted their game a lot heavy, obviously. So I do worry about the letdown Friday. You nailed it with that shit. So I hadn't bet the game, but the Timberwolves disrespect will stop one of these days.
The Timmies.
The Timmies.
Listen, y'all, I'm on record. My favorite young player, my two favorite players in the NBA right now are playing in this game. Ant Edwards and Ja Morant. I love them both. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I think we're getting the brooms out for this one. I love Minnesota. I love Minnesota, but they play with pace and they lack discipline in the biggest moments of games. That's my biggest issue with Cat. Extremely skilled, lacks discipline on the defensive end. And I think that this Memphis team, this is something that's a big misconception in the NBA. There's a difference between having depth and 12 players that can actually play. Mm-hmm. Like you could have depth, like you could have 12 guys. Memphis got 12 guys that can actually play. You understand what I'm saying? I just think that from a depth perspective to just being focused, they also have an elite coach. I think they're better defensively. Minnesota could have easily lost the game against the Clippers, right? They could have easily lost that game. The craziest thing is that Karl-Anthony Towns fouling out was the best thing that could happen because they accelerated the pace of the game and were able to run the Clippers out the gym. So it was actually addition by subtraction. It was the best thing that could happen was Cat getting off the floor. But that's, like I said, that's a different conversation just because of the matchup. In this one, I mean, you got a Grizzly team that they play their pace and they force you to play their game. At some point, you're going to be suckered into playing their game. And when that happens, they run you out the gym. We've seen it all season. I just think that this Grizzlies team is well prepared, well coached. They got the best player on the floor, and I love Ant Edwards. I think Ant Edwards comes out, plays 4 games of elite basketball, and he plays so good we start talking about trading Cat in the offseason. I really believe that. Karl-Anthony Towns is soft. He's undisciplined. He don't play no defense. And if I'm gonna get Ja Morant with him on a switch, good luck. I got the Grizzlies in 4. I want to give Ant a game, but I think the Grizzlies march him out of here, bro. And I love Ant Edwards, but I just think it's just two teams that one's on a mission. This Memphis team has been outrageously good, and just like Jay Money said, the Minnesota disrespect is going to stop. But when's Memphis going to start getting respect? Is it because they're kids? All this because they're young and they got
the respect. So everybody loves Memphis.
I think they're being disrespected. Everybody's still talking about it. I feel that way, man, because I've heard
they should make the conference finals, bro. There's no disrespect at all, but the Timberwolves can match up well with them. That's the only thing that I'm saying. And I'm like I say, with the Dogs, obviously you have some games where they can cover it. It could be a close game. They don't win the game, but can still cover the spread, especially with some of those double digits ones. So I do think they could at least. I don't think they get swept by the Grizzlies. I respect the hell out of the Grizzlies. Got a nice team, but they are still young, right? Bane, them guys had played in these big games like this, so I respect the hell out of them. They have a really good coach as well, a lockdown defense, but the Wolves offense can score with the best with them. You hear Cat talking. I mean, I really believe that shit. When they get going to play their best game, they can beat anybody. Maybe not in a 7-game series, but just one game. Yeah, no, they can. All right, we're gonna see. I told everybody before the season, Pelicans and Wolves, watch out for them. They're coming, and so we'll see next year. But yeah, they're taking the right steps.
I do think that they were disrespected, though. My fault, Rex. My fault.
No, you're good. Finish it up, and then we'll go to the next 4 because we're already at the 45-minute mark. I know some people might need to drop, but Wham, finish up your thoughts, and then we'll go to the next 4.
All I was going to say is that I think the NBA is disrespecting the Minnesota, the Memphis Grizzlies, just based off of them giving Ja Morant the most improved, not having no MVP consideration. And then, on top of that, this is going to be a great series, but you're trying to highlight marquee this type of team. It just it seems a little disrespectful, but that'll be it. I ain't gonna elaborate too much. My fault, bro.
You're all good. Jammer, what's up?
With the MVP consideration, I think it's just based on how well the team played without him. I mean, obviously, whenever he did play, he was playing at an MVP level, but just the way that they were able to rally with him not in the game, I think that kind of like took his name down the notch.
Word. Shout out to everyone on Twitter. No one took the T-Wolves there. Everyone was on the Grizz in 5 or 6. No one was even saying it was going 7. Jump over to YouTube if you want to be your comments featured. Now, the roundtable, it's going to be a lot more back and forth here because we're not taking turns. These are the series that they want to hear us go at each other a little bit, push the needle back and forth. So we'll start with the Jazz versus the Mavs. Yeah, it sucks. You kind of might have to roll game 1 up to the Jazz here, but I still think the Mavs cover today, sneakily enough. But if Luka does end up coming back before game 4, I think that's a key here for me. And yeah, you always have to caveat it with the injury here and there, but I mean, it's that much of a difference maker here. And I'm still never going to trust Rudy Gobert, so I'm going to take the Mavs in 7. Chris, you got the nice setup. You're no longer driving with us. We'll let you go first. So break it down for us. And then someone, if they want to push back, it's all open now. It's a true round table. We got through the nice part of it. Everyone knows who we are now.
Yeah, Rex, man. You know what, bro? I'm gonna keep it quick because I know we kind of at a mince for time. I don't trust the Jazz. I do not trust the Utah Jazz. There's a lot of statistical data I could give you, but especially being road favorites, 2-9 ATS. I think when I was waiting to make a lot of money off the Jazz, in the playoffs. I think the team get blown up at the end of the year. I'm not trusting them. I think that in the playoffs, defense typically wins out. Of course, Dallas is the much better defensive team. I think collectively they have better offensive pieces as well. So I won't go too much into it. I do think for me, Rex, I'm not going to decide how long the series goes because honestly, I think if Luka isn't 100%, I know he's not playing in the game today, but if he's not 100%, I hope that Jason Kidd and that medical staff sits him again, because I think what I wouldn't want is for him to re-aggravate that injury and then you miss him for more games in the future, especially throughout this series. So that's why I won't really get into how long it'll go, because I do want Luka in it. For this game specifically, though, Rex, I'm on Brunson over 20.5 points. I like Brunson a lot. That's a prop that I'm taking today. He's cleared that number in 5 of the last 7 games without Luka in the lineup, but more importantly, in 2 of the 3 games this season against Utah in general, and one of those games was with Luka and one was without. He'll have increased usage without Luka in the lineup as well. He's averaging 15 shot attempts a game without Luka in the last 7 games, opposed to 12 shots with Luka in the lineup. Them being at home, I think that Dallas, the crowd gonna be rocking. They're gonna try to fill that void for not having Luka in the game today. And I like Brunson to have a big game, man. I think he goes over his 20.5 point prop for the day specifically. And then that's all I got, man. I'll condense mine to make sure everybody else can get a chance.
I really want to get Jay's perspective next, because I know you're a Dallas guy. I really do want to hear what your thoughts are.
You want my thoughts?
I do.
The Jazz are ass.
Very important.
The Jazz can't fuck with us. It's simple. If you want my thoughts, the Jazz are toast. Mitchell can't wait to get up out of there. Snyder can't wait to leave. But enough of the Jazz. We've shown we can win without Luka. I worry about us in game 1, right? I'll be honest with that. I'm with Chris. If he's not healthy, you can't play him because you don't want him that calf is connected to the Achilles and all that. You don't want to be out all of next year and shit too. So if you have to, but we'll get one of these games. I'll tell you what I want. I want the Jazz to come out here feeling good about themselves in game 1, and I'll be heavy on the Mavs in game 2. We're not going down 0-2, losing both at the house. You dig what I'm saying? But we own the Jazz. We got them boys figured out. I mean, I'm not betting today's game. I wouldn't be surprised if we won today's game, but I must say, just what I think will happen, I think the Jazz will come out with something, smack us up. We're probably still a little down and pissed off that Luka's not here. Then game 2, we'll make the adjustments. But so Dinwiddie's assist should hit over, and Brunson point should hit over, like Chris said. So that's what I'm looking. But yeah, the Jazz can't fuck with us, and they're not making it out the first round. The Mavs are winning this series.
That's the energy I was expecting and need and wanted. That's the energy that I needed right now. We'll go to Friday, I want to hear your thoughts too. I mean, I know you have a couple angles in this one for sure.
Yeah, besides Rudy Gobert being trash, $205 million for a player that can't score beyond 2 feet from the rim. And it's just, actually, to be honest, everyone, Rudy Gobert is actually the most important player in this series for the Utah Jazz, all jokes aside. I've never been the biggest fan of him, but I posted on my page yesterday, quick plug, but I have the Mavericks to win this series, like Jay said, like Chris B. Kappen said as well. I've taken the Mavericks to win this series, plus 240 to win the series. Series spread plus 1.5 games is still plus 160. I think it's disrespectful. Even if the first game is a gimme, I believe Luka's return will tilt the series in the Mavericks' favor, and partially because I don't think Jason Kidd is still getting enough credit. We talk about all of these other coaches, even Ime Udoka's flew up the ranks. Memphis Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins. These other coaches are getting some shine in the media now, but Jason Kidd has really done magic with this roster through roster turnover in the middle of the season. I believe in the Mavericks defense. They're going to win this series. I'm riding with J Money, Chris B. Kappen, plus 1.5 games on the spread series, and for the series to win as well, the Mavericks. And then for today's game, quick note for today's game, it's funny because I do think that this is the only chance that the Jazz have to win, not to win overall in the series, but I do think that they will compete today. There is an imperative on them. The pressure's on them. I believe Jay was slick alluding to this as well. The pressure is on the Jazz in Game 1 because they're the ones that know that the opposing superstar is out. So I played a couple of props. Donovan Mitchell over 26.5 points. We know what he does on the big stage. And I've taken Jordan Clarkson over 14.5 points for the Jazz. No play on the spread, though.
Oh, man. I don't think anyone's taken the Jazz to win the series yet. Who likes the Jazz to win the series on here? Does nobody.
The only way the Jazz can win this series is if Luka misses game 1 and 2 and the Jazz hit everything from the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. But as far as matchup wise, I think Friday really just hit it on the head. We're not giving Jason Kidd his just due. He's completely changed the way that this team plays basketball because he understands he understands how to put players around a ball dominant point guard who can, because that's what he was as a player. So he connects very well with Luka Doncic because, we're talking about an all-time great point guard coaching a guy who has the ceiling to be an all-time great point guard. So it's a seamless match between the two. And like I said, the only thing that would worry me is the availability of Luka Doncic. Chris said the right thing. Listen, he's too young to risk anything being hurt or him possibly being out for a prolonged period of time. So you have to be very, very careful with the way you play him and the way you make him available. Obviously, he wants to play. You have to be cautious with it, though, because if it becomes something worse, then it's an issue. I really, really do believe in Dallas because I really want Luka Doncic to win a series so that people can just shut the fuck up. That's really where I am with it. Like people say I hate on Luka sometimes. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all these great players are ultimately judged on if they win, right? The metrics and the stats are awesome, but you got to win. I'm hopeful that Luka's healthy. Even if he isn't, I give Dallas a good chance to win regardless because I think they're the better team, better coach team. And like Jay said, don't look like Donovan Mitchell want to stay in Utah at all. Who else? Who else we got left? Finesse, Wham. We get Finesse, Wham, and Jammer, and then we'll wrap to the next one.
Yeah, you guys make a lot of great points. I love Friday's play at plus the 1.5 games. That seems like the L word. You know what I'm saying? So, if I had to lean, I lean Dallas in 6 games. Like Jay said, they've shown the ability to match up well against his Jazz team. Just waiting on Luka. You know what I'm saying? If Luka misses the first 2 games, I think Jay said this. I trust Dallas to take 1 game. Shift the series back. It's going to be a great series. Looking at game 1, I lean Jazz early. I still haven't decided whether it's first quarter, first half, but I lean Jazz early. I love the props Chris gave you guys. Yeah, should be a great series. Obviously, Luka's the master. We need him on the floor, but I think worst case scenario, he misses 2 games, fights through the rest. Mavs in 6.
Wham, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys in agreement there. I think Dorian Finney-Smith is a good live look as well without Luka. He's averaging 12.9 points. So I did take the over 12.5 for today. It was at minus 127. As far as this two teams, one stat that I didn't hear anyone talk about is the after a loss. Utah shown that there's about they're a mentally broken team. Like you said, guys is ready to checked out. 10, 21, and 2 against the spread after a loss. And the other team here, 22 and 8 after a loss. So you expect Dallas to continue to grind out. Credit to Jason Kidd, like my guy Friday said. So I agree with everything my guy said for the future looks. That was a beautiful thing, like my guy would say earlier. But I agree with everything you guys said. Dorian Finney-Smith is the official play for me today, though.
Hey, they said Wham moving like K-Love on defense, bro.
Hey, I seen that. That was hilarious, bro. That was hilarious, dog.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all for
move your feet.
hollering in, man. We appreciate y'all, man. My guy Rex and Sosa, I appreciate y'all for even not kicking me out yet. You know?
It's not Luka's fault that he played Kawhi in the first round, his first 2 playoff series of his career in his prime. Kawhi in his prime, you know? So it's a bit of a bad luck. I just wanted to say that, man, because you guys are talking about Kawhi.
Jammer, bring us home, my guy.
Man, Jay Money's loving all this praise we're giving to his team, but you know, I like what Friday said. I think that the value's here with the Mavericks, just because as soon as Luka gets ruled back in, I mean, I think that goes back to an even matchup. But the real important part is going to be these first 2 games, because if you go down 0-2 without your superstar, you kind of feel like you're forcing him to come back on the road. 2 games in Utah. You need to split this first 2 games. You got to win 1 at home without Luka. Maybe let him get a little bit more healthy before forcing him to come back. What we're going to see is going to be a chess match at the end of the game. I think that Utah has a little bit more firepower than the Dallas Mavericks do. I don't know who takes the shot for Dallas down at the end of the game, kind of similar to what we saw with the Clippers last night. They kind of fizzled out, really didn't know what to do with their offense without Paul George. Are we going to see the same thing with Dallas with Luka being out? I'm not sure.
Those are all viable angles. I'm glad you brought that up. But again,
yeah, man, we can't kick you out when you're dropping the knowledge with the bounce back angle after a loss. But so I'll let the chat and I'll let the round table take a vote here. I can remove Sosa and I for this series. You guys can just talk about it the whole time. We just have to sit there and listen, or we're just going to talk the whole time and you guys got to listen to us. It's only one way or the other.
We 100% do want Jay and Chris's thoughts before I know y'all are about to go do your stream. Listen, I'm going to the game tonight. I'm not allowed. I don't think me, Friday, and Rex should really be allowed to even talk about this shit, to be totally honest with you, because we're not picking against our team. Like if you're expecting that, then you're in the wrong place. I have no analytical data. I have no analysis for you. For me in this one, it's Sixers or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we playing F Canada from South Park for the next 10 days.
This guy.
Right? That's
all I have to say about it. Sixers and 7. It always goes 7 against the Raptors in the playoffs.
It's definitely going 7. I definitely agree with you there, and I can't wait. I'll be honest with you. If there was a game for me to bet the Sixers, and like I don't trust the Sixers. I trust Embiid. I don't trust Rivers. I definitely don't trust James Harden. Where's the strip club at? You see what I'm saying? So I think it's going 7. If I had to bet, me personally, I'm taking Raptors in a game 7. I'm not betting on Doc Rivers. He's probably ready. Low-key could be like Mitchell and Snyder over there. He's probably looking to the team that he's going to next, man. He don't want to deal with Harden's ass either, his own coach. So not a ton for me on this one. I got to look for my spots in this series to bet the Raptors. So I can see the Sixers getting this game. Well, I'll be honest. If I'm betting tonight's game, it's probably the Sixers to come out with some like this is but as the series goes on, Nick Nurse will eat Doc Rivers alive, my guys. So I like the Raptors for the series, but I would wait. This is the key. If you think the other team is going to win game 1, you don't take the series yet. You wait until after they're down 0-1. You get even better price, man. You got to outsmart these damn books, my guys. But that's what I'm thinking on it. I think think the Sixers win tonight, and then Raptors game 2 and probably game 3 for me, my guys. Chris,
Jay, you asked where the strip club was. It's like less than a mile away, called Cheerleaders, and if you bring your ticket, you get in free afterwards. So that's kind of
he been there. James Harden already there. Like at the end
Chris,
of the
what you got for us here?
Hold on, real quick. We do not go to Cheerleaders anymore. We don't do that. Okay, it's Sin City's the only place we pulling up to in Philly. Okay. I'm saying that's where the Dominican shorties be at. We're not doing that. We're not going to Delilah's, and we damn sure not going to Cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying? Some of them strippers might not have teeth. We're not going there.
Hey, look, I know it, it's a lot of you guys, these are your teams, man, but I'd only be able to lean with Jay, man. I think the data supports it as well. I'm actually taking Toronto to win the series. I'm taking Toronto to win the series. Couple quick things, and then I'm gonna get off here. Like you said, Sosa, I'll do the show with Jay. But Toronto's the hotter team right now, 8-2 straight up, 6-4 ATS last 10. Philly 6-4 straight up, but 3-7 last 10. The Raptors are also play well against the Sixers, man. 4-0 ATS in the last 4 meetings this year. Toronto's covered each of these spreads this season. 3 of those were double digits. They've also, more importantly, they're 2-0 ATS and straight up since the Harden trade. Since the Harden trade, with one of them coming in Philly, one of them coming in Toronto. I said it's contrarian Chris look today. I'm on Toronto. Give me the 4.5 today. For the series, I think they win it too. I think Nick Nurse, and I got a lot of data I could give you guys, but I think Nick Nurse does a really good job of being able to stop Embiid. Listen to this. So Embiid averages 29 points a game against Toronto this year, and I think it's 4 games that he's played against them. And 29 points, that's a lot, right? But if you look at Embiid, how well he does against regular teams, that's actually the 9th fewest points that he scored, that he scores against any opposing team. He's also shooting 46% from the field, which also isn't that bad. But that's also the 9th worst shooting percentage of any team that Joel Embiid has played against this year. I think the formula that Nick Nurse has to slow down Embiid is a real one. And when you do that, you put the ball in Harden's hands. I'm not okay with the ball being in Harden's hands. I'm not okay with that. Harden could prove me wrong, but I think I like Nick Nurse being able to kind of scheme up against Harden, against Embiid to make James Harden beat him a little bit more. I'm actually on Maxey this game. I think his point prop sitting at 17.5. He's had 20 a couple different times against this team. I think he averages 20 against them because, like we said, the offense got to come from somewhere. And Harden averages 19 points a game against Toronto. So Nick Nurse does a good job against him as well. He's also shooting the ball at about 38% clip. I like Toronto to steal game 1, man. I could talk for hours just about this game specifically, but give me Toronto game 1. I'm taking the 4.5.
I just want to say this one thing. Appreciate you. Appreciate J Money. I don't like anything you just said about this.
Don't agree.
Put the ball in Harden's hands.
Sign off. That's one way to sign off.
Put the ball in Harden's hands, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. We gotta go do this show real quick. It's all love. I'll come on anytime, my brothers. Y'all will come on the channel anytime.
Make sure y'all,
everybody.
If you're not following J Money is Money, make sure you guys are locked in with him. Crispy Capping does a great job with the community when it comes to spaces. What you've done with building up your spaces, bro, and building up the community. I appreciate you. Jay, always appreciate the love, man. You're a legend in the game. We appreciate you kicking it with us. So we're gonna continue going, get through these last few matchups, and make sure you guys check out J Money on his YouTube channel. Lock in with him. Appreciate y'all.
My guy.
Hey, Rex,
now check it out now,
my guys.
Bro, best of luck. Check out that stream.
And then, okay, so who we got? Who we got? That's not a hater. No, I'm just playing. Finesse. Let's get your thoughts. Then we'll go. Then we'll go Jammer, and we'll close it off with Wham.
I just want to make sure Sosa listening. So I got Toronto at 6. So that's how I'm rocking for this series. Me and Chris had a lot of the same type of notes. I just think it's a terrible matchup for Philly. Going individually through the matchups and just team matchups. So I trust Nick Nurse a lot more. I think Joel will get his. It's just about the efficiency that he does so. And I think the efficiency won't be there. I think Nick Nurse will devise a plan to get the ball out of his hands. Like Chris was saying, I do not trust James Harden. I do not trust Doc Rivers to make the proper adjustments. I trust Nick Nurse to do that. I got a futures ticket on the Raptors to win it all. I think they're a very, very underrated team coming into these playoffs. An elite, gritty defense. They might only be three or four of those in the league, and Toronto's one of them. So I trust that defense. I trust Nick Nurse. In terms of props and all of that shit, I do think Joel gets his. Just about the efficiency he does it in. In terms of game one, I do lean Philly to take game one. I don't know about covering the 4.5, 5, whatever it is now, but I do lean Philly to win. I do lean Philly to win game one, but I like Raptors in 6.
Jammer.
So you guys will like this one because I'm going to defend your team here. So I mean, Raptors had the 76ers ticket all year. They're 3-1 in the series, covered all 4 games, and the way that they did that was what Jay Money and Chris was saying. It was just forcing. Well, I guess James Harden wasn't there for the first 2, but forcing James Harden to take over. They like to play a zone defense, kind of clog up that paint, kind of take out Embiid. But what that does is it allows open threes. So the key for this is going to be the Sixers' catch and shoot ability. Will they be able to make those open threes whenever they're giving them to them? Because you're going to get 30 plus from Joel Embiid on the season. The scoring leader, only playing 34 minutes a game. You're going to get 40 minutes from him, and they're going to be 40 tough minutes. So I mean, if they can limit him, the ability for Philly to catch and shoot is going to be what makes or breaks this series, because I think that the length of the Raptors and their tangibility on defense is just going to be a little too much if they're not hitting these open shots, because that gets in your mental, and that can take away any kind of momentum that you've built up. And we saw that in the final game where Philly had that lead going into the fourth quarter, and then things just kind of shut down, and Toronto was able to come back and win the game straight up. So I think that Joel Embiid will get his, but it's going to come down to those role players.
We got anyone left for this one? Friday, did you give your thoughts?
Listen, I'm trying to get all the non-fans out the way first, because I definitely want to hear what Friday says. So if you want to go, and then we'll let Friday, because I definitely want to hear Friday's take on this 100%.
Yeah, y'all can hear me, right? Y'all
yes,
got me?
Sir.
All right, cool. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Raptors, so it's not going to hear anything that y'all want to hear, to be honest with you. And a lot of that has to do with what we expect from seeing from the rookie Scotty Barnes, rookie of the year Scotty Barnes. I think that he does play a very good role in here, along with Pascal. He's averaging 30 points against y'all. I mean, I don't think y'all stopping him today, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the game plan that Embiid has. He's already saying that he's going to try to be a facilitator, because, like you said, Jeremy, they know that that's type of defense that they're going to expect from you guys. I don't know Doc is going to lead you guys to the promised land in this series. So that's the reason why I think that it is a Raptors series. I think it is a 7-game series, though. Like Rex did say, we know that this team is just one of those historically rivalry type things, especially last game. Last series, you just think about the Kawhi shot, barely going down there. Just a wind breeze would have just got you guys in the finals there, pretty much. So I think that this is going to be a good series. It's all about those shooters, like Jammer said. Though I don't expect really you guys to have shooters. Like, it's Matisse Thybulle out there, and he may be having issues with the COVID stuff to come play in Toronto. So if they get one of these games, I believe in the Raptors, one of these first 2 games, there's no reason to take the series price right now. I think you just take the money line these first 2 games. And then if they lose, you're getting a better spot for the series price if they lose the first 2 games. So that's my approach in here. I'm going to take the money line first 2 games and take Pascal to score 30 points.
Chuck must forget when Vince Carter's shot missed in Game 7. It went both ways. The Raptors just always had the final shot in both of the times we met in the playoffs.
Friday, bring us home, my brother.
Raptors in 6, and Nick Nurse, like Jay Money said, shout out to Jay Money. He's going to eat Doc Rivers alive. I actually am a bit afraid to bet in Game 1. It has nothing to do with the 76ers. It has everything to do with the Raptors in the recent history. The Raptors can't win Game 1s in playoff series, even in the year when we won the title with Kawhi. But over the course of 7 games, this is a physically dominant Raptors team, highly switchable defenders that knows how to negate bigs. We're the team that gave the league the blueprint on how to at least slow Giannis down. We've used that same blueprint on Embiid over and over and over and over again. Embiid won't go over his points prop total any game besides potentially game one. Gary Trent Jr. will be a household name after this series. So will Scotty Barnes and OG Anunoby. And that it is what it is, bro. The Raptors would be the number one seed in the NBA if Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, and Gary Trent Jr. didn't miss a combined 79 games. We would be the number one seed easily. When those four players are playing, we have the number one offense in the NBA. The mainstream media doesn't like it. This is not a 5 seed in the Toronto Raptors. This is a number 1 seed. So I hope the 76ers are preparing for this series as if they're playing a number 1 seed caliber team, because they're playing against the best coach in the NBA as well. It's bigger than what's on the court. So I got the Sixers possibly winning this first one because of the Raptors, but Raptors are going to take them out in 6. It'll be a completely different series when it gets up to Toronto. Completely different series.
Love that shit.
Alexa, play that Quentin Miller reference track.
Breakfast music from Spotify.
You got it on mine.
Hey, man, listen, I fuck with Drake. I love Toronto. It's one of my favorite places on earth. Joel Embiid about to fuck y'all up, dog. I had to get vulgar and say it like that. Big 21 Gary, fuck y'all up. I listen, I love Nick Nurse. But Big 21, enjoy the show. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody's looking at James Harden, look like he's taking a step back. I love the Toronto Raptors roster, but I just think that 21 is he got to be special. He knows he got to be special. If you're going to get him for 40 minutes every single night, I think we can figure it out. I think also the demise of James Harden has been greatly exaggerated. He's obviously not the guy from 5 years ago, but I mean, who is? 5 years ago, I could do shit that I couldn't do now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still fucking great. You know what I mean? So I feel the same way about James Harden. I still think that he finds a way here to be effective. Obviously, people are going to say he doesn't look explosive. I've actually looked at the tape in regards to the last 15 games, and it's not even that he's not explosive. He's not hitting the jump shot. You can't expect for somebody to give you anything when you're not hitting the jump shot. You're not going to be able to blow past anybody when they're looking at you and you're just throwing up bricks. I think that the issues with James Harden are extremely fixable, and that people are it's much ado about nothing. I think that he understands time and place. He understands why he was traded here. He does have the security of having Daryl Morey as his stepfather. So obviously he's going to get his fucking money in Philly either way, right? So he's not going anywhere. Daryl Morey will clearly give him a silver platter of $230 million. Will I be excited to see that? No, but we know what's going to happen. You don't give up the assets you gave up to not retain him. So at the end of the day, we're stuck with the guy for the next 4 years. He gonna have to get it done. Big 21, as long as he can dominate, which I know is easier said than done because we are fully aware that Nick Nurse is a coaching genius.
There's one factor
that I still like 21.
There's still one factor here that's different where I think Embiid needs to get going on this one, and this has to be his staple playoff series because Marc Gasol is no longer in the inside for the Raptors. That was his bane of his existence for that whole series. Now when you have Boucher and Siakam going at him, this has to be his staple. This has to be his series. He has to win it. Regardless if you have Tybal or not in Toronto, I don't really think that should matter. Tybal's a nice piece, but I don't think he should be playing more than 20 minutes this series in any of the games because I don't know how much of a good advantage he gives you. Sure, on the defensive end, we get more cheeks on that side, but when you can go back to the Simmons-esque offense of when you can just completely sag off the one player, that's what's detrimental to Sixers in every single playoff series is when you have one offensive liability out there that can't extend the floor. And sure, he's made 1 out of 4 threes, but kind of just weird. Put him at 20 minutes. I necessarily wouldn't start him because you got to get used to the games in Toronto, maybe max him in the games in Philly. But if he's not there, move him to the bench quick and give the other guys options. I know the bench isn't that great either. That could be games where you could see the Philly bench score under 10 points in games this series.
So what's the over-under on tears shed by Embiid after Game 6? What's the over under on that?
It'll be.
They'll be happy tears.
Hold up. He gonna cry.
Happy tears.
He gonna cry in the car. So he
gonna cry in the car.
He not doing that on national TV again. Nah.
Yeah, that shit.
Way back. No.
All right, 2 more series to wrap it up. I don't think we got fandom in this one. Celtics versus the Nets. Probably the spiciest series other than the next one that we got coming up here in the East. I'll let someone else give it first. Who wants to take this one? Who wants to lead the layup drill?
I want to hear Friday on this one first, and then we can go to whomever after that.
I really appreciate you. I actually have food coming right now. I'm trying to prepare for this 1 o'clock NBA game. This was an amazing session. I really appreciate you guys putting this together, and I can't wait to join you guys next time. I have the Celtics. It's not a shock to the world, but because they're favored. But I think people will still be shocked to see Kevin Durant lose in the first round, and it's going to happen. The Boston Celtics have too much. They just have too much on the defensive side of the ball for this Brooklyn Nets team. And I said that this would be the year that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum will be considered a championship contending duo, and I'm standing by that. They have progressed on schedule. They flew up the standings. They lead the league, or they're near the top of the league in all important defensive metrics, the metrics that translate to the playoffs. I've got the Celtics winning this series in 6 games. Actually, it's not going to 7. That's it. And Jason Tatum will probably be the best player in this series.
Hey, Rex, we do got a little bit of fandom. Sure. So I'm a Celtic fan, right? No bias, right? Boston is 6. So I've been saying it for for as long as I can say it. My ticket's in on that. I got it at plus 450. Boston is 6. Friday said a lot of the things, the most important things. I think as a team we're better offensively. I think as a team we're miles better defensively. I like the coaching matchup, right? Ime gonna put his cape on like he always does, and coach Steve Nash right out the series. So, I think Friday's right on. And I think people are gonna be shocked to see KD Kyrie go home in the first round, and we see it in the spread already. I looked at the spread the other day. It was Boston minus 4.5, right? Which is crazy to look at it and think about that. But I think we're the better team all around. Everybody's making a big thing about Robert Williams. And they call me crazy for believing that Tice and Horford and Grant Williams can fill that void, more of a plug and play kind of system. Each one of those guys brings their own skills to the table. Tice is an underrated defender. He can stretch the floor. So can Grant Williams. Grant Williams, dare I say, an elite defender, and he can also stretch the floor. So Boston is 6.
Jammer, I saw you like this comment. What were your thoughts?
Man, so I think that this is going to be the best series we see in the first round. I got 7 games, and I got Brooklyn winning it, man. I think that KD and Kyrie, they got something to prove. If there's anyone who's got a chip on their shoulder, it's those two. I know that we haven't had a Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown duo, like healthy duo. Last year, Jaylen Brown was out, and Jason Tatum just put that team on their back. They couldn't win, but this year, he's got a semi-healthy team. Obviously, Robert Williams is out. But even without him, small sample size, they're still a top 6 defensive team. But I just don't know if they'll be able to keep up with the firepower of KD and Kyrie. Obviously, production outside of those two is going to be super important. But outside of Tatum and Brown, I think that just those 2v2, we're going to see a lot of those. I just see KD and Kyrie coming out on top. Great series overall, a lot of back and forth, but give me those 2.
Wham, you go. I'll go.
Yeah, man. I'm with finesse. That's the only series price that I locked in was Boston in 6 plus 550, bro. And I think that you said everything. They've been showing that since the calendar year, they're the best team in the league. And along with just having the right guys, like you said, plug and play, Robert Williams not being in the lineup, is going to be bad for him early on, but he's going to be back. You know what I'm saying? He's actually going to make his way back into the lineup, and let's see how effective he is. Like we've seen with Jared Allen coming back. Hopefully he's not on that level of hurt, but I think if he comes back and be anything of a live threat that he is, that form of dynamic is just going to take this team offense to another level. So right now, I think you are going to see it be more of a one-on-one battle. I think Tatum does eat, like Friday said. I think he's already averaging about 30 points against this team, so it's only right that he continues to go up in here. But yeah, Boston in 6, man. I think that they can still show that they can play the best defense. We know the problem with this Nets team is rebounding and defending. You know, they might have Michael Jordan coming back and Ben Simmons, but you know what I'm saying? Is he going to be able to shoot like Michael Jordan? I don't think so, bro. So come on here, bro. I'm going ahead and lock this in +6. I'm sorry, in 6 +550. I'm right here with you, Finesse. I'm rocking with you, bro. I think the Boston Celtics have a shot to win the title this year, as long as they get everything right. But neither here nor there, man. I like that.
Yeah, this feels gross to say. I definitely have the Celtics in 6. I could see it getting to 7 as well. And people are making a big part that just because Ben has Kyrie and KD back, if he does come back, I mean, you saw what the Celtics did when Stevens was the coach. They weren't even past the fucking foul line to cover him. And that's just kind of where sure he's going to be able to pass the ball, and he's playing and passing it to 2 world-class players instead of the bums that was on the Sixers other than Embiid. So that's just kind of where I can see both sides of the argument, but I mean, Ben was the reason why the team couldn't win in the playoffs. How is he going to be the piece that makes it much further just by doing this? I don't know. I just don't get that argument there. The Celtics with Ime, he should be able to out scheme Nash. I like that aspect, and I'm just not going to believe in the defense, like Wham said.
Yeah, for me, I'm on the Celtics. I think the Celtics in 5 or 6. I know we're because listen, in this series, if you're betting on Brooklyn, you're not betting on Brooklyn. You're betting on KD and Kyrie. You're not betting on the team. You're betting on KD and Kyrie. I think one team's a better team. And also, if I'm Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, I don't think we've seen a duo of all-stars be more disrespected than what we're seeing right now. Like people are talking about Boston like they're just going to get railroaded. I'll be honest. They're talking about they're just like Boston's going to get smoked. And not, obviously Jammer said 7. But if you're on the timeline, like there are people that believe that KD and Kyrie are just going to come out here and cook these dudes. Again, as far as a team aspect, Boston's much better. Superstar aspect, yes, KD and Kyrie, 2 of the greatest players we've ever seen, who have both gotten to the mountaintop. They both won championships. And I think that's what we're so keen to remember and lock in with. But for me, I like Boston in this series. I do. Boston in 6, maybe shorter than that, just because I don't believe in anybody but KD and Kyrie. And that's for me.
These fourth quarters could be the best or the worst basketball we see, because you kind of saw alluding to last night's fourth quarter between the Clips and the Pelicans, how much iso ball there was. And now you got 4 great iso ball players. That's kind of where this fourth quarter, the games could be determined like that, and they could fly over the total or sail under it like it did last night. Vanessa, anything else you want to do? Say about your squad before we go to the last one?
Boston in 6.
Yeah, it feels gross that I like Boston in this series as well. They usually make me sad when we play them in the playoffs. All right, Nuggets versus the Warriors. Ryan, where's he at? He was just commenting in here for the first time today. I'm glad you came here for this one. He has the Nuggets winning the West, and I don't have the Nuggets leaving this series.
What are the odds on that? Winning the series.
Who wants to go for this one first? I mean, we got spam coming in hard real quick right here, but
big spam.
Delete that. What the hell?
There we go. We got kids in here, man. Don't be showing us that. But
family-friendly programming, goddammit.
I mean, this one's also the caveat where if Steph, they said he's on a minutes restriction, does that concern anyone for their series predictions, or do we all still have the Warriors going through?
I think
minutes restriction.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blowout.
I like it.
It's going to be a blowout. That's why he's going to be sitting on the bench at the end of the game.
Yeah,
I'm not liking any props here.
I'm not going to call a win of this series. I think it's a really, really tough series. I think the Warriors are getting a shit ton of credit that they don't deserve, especially on the offensive side. This is not 2016, 2017. We look at the past, 7 to 10 days of the year. It was miserable at times to watch. So Sosa know it too. Y'all banking on the past. Y'all banking on storybooks. The stories being told down from generation to generation on the Warriors. That's what y'all banking on. I'm looking at, especially this first game, I'm looking at Golden State minus 6.5. And that's too many points. It's too many points. I'm most likely going to be on Denver plus the points. I think Denver takes the first game. Nobody to stop Joker on Golden State. Absolutely nobody.
Mm.
You can try to double him. You try to double him, obviously. But Denver got some killers, right? Denver does have some killers. So I'm not gonna pick a winner of the series.
On the basketball court, we talking about killers on the basketball court. We have a different conversation.
No,
we
talking about killers on the basketball court. We talking about killers on the So listen, I hate Aaron Gordon. I don't trust that man. But they do have enough shooters where if you double Jokic, they can make you pay. Just enough. Slightly, just enough. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hey, give me 1 second. Let me go grab the broom.
You feel me?
Boy, stop. Boy, stop. Steph Curry available. He's beat the shit out of them. 4 games, 5 games max. Fuck your MVP.
Wham. What do you like?
That's my thing, bro. They got the MVP out there and all type of action, bro, on defense, man. Nikola Jokic, man, he's gonna be looking bad on that side. I mean, as far as the offensive side, he said nobody's out there. I'm sure Draymond ain't played yet. Yeah, like my guy said, he hasn't played against Denver this year. He gonna be playing against Jokic here. I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna lock him down, but it's gonna be a little bit tougher than what it normally is. And then I think that you get Steph back, bro. If he just anything like in the 35 plus range, it's going up. So yeah, look at my face now. It's just
bounce that ass, shake that ass, bounce that ass, bounce that ass. They about to have that young
they
boy.
About to have him in. They about to be twerking out there.
Draymond about to have Jokic twerking?
No, everybody is because they gonna call for the switch.
Watch the game. Watch the game tonight. Hey, I like the over though. I'm on the over 114 in the first half. I think that the defense will show in the series for Golden State. Maybe not right then and there. I think you get them to play some type of tempo in the first half. But I think, like you said, bro, they're gonna have that boy out there twerking, man. They're gonna have him in all type of action. Yeah, man. You can't take Jokic off the floor because he's the engine. So he's gonna be out there, bro.
Kenny Rogers won. Listen, my DMs are open. We can bet whatever you want. Jokic don't got a snowflake's chance in a house fire in Chicago in this fucking series. Jammer, any more thoughts on this one?
So Finesse was talking about some killers on the team. I think he's talking about Jokic's brothers, but I mean they're not going to be playing in the game. They might be on the sidelines, but that intimidation fact, I don't know if it's gonna be enough to stop these Warriors. I got the Warriors 4 or 5, man. It's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. Jokic can only do so much. The Warriors solid on defense. If Steph and Clay get hot, man, they're just gonna be toying around with this team. That little drop pick and roll defense that Jokic plays just gonna get absolutely torched on the 3-point line.
Bro, we've been waiting for these Warriors to get hot for like 4 weeks now, bro.
Hey man, playoffs.
I'm keeping all these receipts. I'm gonna come back on Daily Bread, right? And we're gonna have ourselves a conversation. That's what's gonna happen.
No, we could definitely do that because we definitely want to run it back for the next roundtable. It's more the fact if Steph is healthy, Clay is healthy, and Draymond's healthy, they should get through the Nuggets without a doubt. Like people are talking in the comments about Jordan Poole, not going to trust him whatsoever. I don't trust any bit of the other Warriors pieces, but when you have those 3 there as the core and those 3 have one, if Harrison Barnes can be their 4th piece and they can get him through the line because all he has to do is be able to shoot in the corner. Sure, it's not them back in their prime, but this is like the right before they're over the hill year, in my opinion. So this is why I think it's their last real shot at trying to get to the finals because I think this West is just going to be tougher and tougher year in, year out after this.
Respectfully, when you're biracial, the jump shot never leaves. I'm just saying.
Jump shot never leaves.
That's true.
I'm just saying, dog.
Hey.
Like, so y'all can talk about the fall.
Well, you think, Kuminga, it's not his series yet. If you think he's been growing to it, it's great. If you think Moody's going to be a piece, great. It's just that the Warriors pieces, they need them to be in their prime to make those type of players shine. And I just don't know if they're there anymore. I still think the Warriors win the series, but this is one where I said the Heat don't need a superstar to get past the Hawks. The Warriors don't need to have the surrounding pieces to get past.
Warriors and fall.
I'm going to get some chicken nuggets, bro. That's what I'm going. I'm going to go get some chicken nuggets.
Some spicy nuggets.
Yeah, so good.
It's Drano season out there.
How many's Jokic scoring in this series? What's his PPG?
he gonna get him
I mean, like 30,
28.7, like 28.7 a game.
Yeah, like close to 30.
That's cool.
But we're not gonna give a fuck about them passes because we're gonna cut off everybody else's water. That's what it finna be like.
And I forgot to mention this. They were turning over the ball crazy towards the end of the year, man. They were turning over the ball at a high rate, bro. Don't do that in this game. These guys
I
top
agree. I
3,
agree with
top
that.
5
I
in
think
points
they
off
button
turnover.
that shit up. Yeah. They you know, I caught them. They caught me slipping. You know, trust
Comment of the
my money
day.
on the Nuggets. But yeah, I just think it's slightly disrespectful. Slightly disrespectful. That's all I'm saying.
So you already know Sosa and I. We're going to wrap up today's show. Finesse, let them know where they can follow you if you have a YouTube page as well, or if you're just Twitter, let them know about yourself one last time as we wrap up.
Yeah, man, just on Twitter. I've been doing it for a couple of months, dropping free plays and analysis every single day. So you guys can check me out there. A lot of guys on here have been my top inspirations doing this stuff. You know, even guys like Wham, right? Me and Wham don't chop it up a lot, but you know, I see what he's doing. I respect what he's doing. Guys like Friday, Jay, Chris, you know, Sosa, brightest guys in the space. So I'm happy to be here. I'm humbled to be here. Yeah, and go check me out if you feel interested and kind of see what I'm about. And yeah, that's all I got.
Appreciate you,
Wham.
my brother.
Man, you know, it's just a pleasure to be here with you guys, man. I'm glad my internet is here fixed up right now for this at least, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, bro, Jammer, you already know, Finesse, always love, bro. And Sosa and Rex, man, you already know, man. Anytime, I can't wait to come back here. It's a beautiful thing to have y'all here, man. Great panel, bro. Great content, bro. Make sure y'all subscribe to all the content, man.
We appreciate.
What about Jammer? You're not going to let Jammer do it?
Hold on. First off, Jammer's fucking family. We done did like 30 episodes of Sunday Morning Quarterback with Jammer. So I think we familiar with him being on our channel. He's a regular guest. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time we got Wham and Finesse on here. Jammer, you're like our, you know, you're a brother at this point. You know what I'm saying? You've been rocking with Daily Bread since day one. Not that Wham and not that Wham hasn't, but you know, you've rocked with us with Sunday Morning Quarterbacks. Also, before Jammer was to go, I want to shout out to Jammer and Delphi Commish. Shout out to y'all, man. I love having people that know what the fuck they're talking about pop up on my on any content that I do. That's why we did what we did today. Every person that gave their analysis, they knew what the fuck they was talking about. I'm not gonna have any bozos pop up on anything that I do so they can give me a bad name. Fuck that. So, Jammer, tell the people where to find you, where to find your, you know, your VIP stuff, all that. Go ahead. It's the floor is yours, my boy.
The Twitter name right here, guys. Jammer Bets. I'll be dropping some free MLB during the playoffs. Mostly everything's going to be in VIP for basketball. Might drop a free play here or there like we did last night with Wham. But yeah, Delphi Sports, me and the commish taking it over. I'm holding down the NBA. He's holding down the MLB. Already starting off the season hot. We're positive in the NBA play-ins, about to lock it in for the playoffs. We got some great series coming up, and we got a good couple months of basketball coming up. So tune in if you're looking for a VIP. Other than that, check me out on Twitter. And big shout out to all these guys who did the round table. A lot of great minds, a lot of goats in the sports betting world. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and looking forward to do some more of this during the playoffs.
You already know we're going to do this after every round too. So so be ready in 10 days when we got like 3 sweeps and this shit happens fast. But yeah, man, I'm grateful for everyone. Obviously we had 3 guys like Leave Early, Chris, J Money, My Guy Knows a Guy. My Guy Knows a Guy helped put me in the game as far as like getting on the internet and really getting into content. Obviously me and Rex linked up and it's been, it's been fucking unstoppable ever since. But again, I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedules. We appreciate the insight. We appreciate, just y'all rocking with us because we're as far as we've already come, we're still just in the beginning. So again, I'm glad that you guys are part of it from now. Rex, I'll let you finish it off or close it out and I'm out.
Yeah, shout out to all the commenters that hung around this whole time. You guys made the show great. Shit ton of comments. We do it for you. Until we're not going live tomorrow, we'll see you all Monday. Like, subscribe, follow everyone. We out.
Peace.